15 things recently discovered in the Philippines. Let's check that out right now.
While there are plenty of shocking things around the world to share, we can only do one at a time. The Philippines is chock full of crazy, shocking things like gourmet restaurants located right next to a waterfall,
I've actually been here,
or a cemetery buried beneath hundreds of years of volcanic eruption.
What's thought to be the largest pearl ever found, weighing 34 kilos, has been found.
It's a land full of mystery and magic. So long as you have the eyes and want to see it, here are 15 shocking things recently discovered in the Philippines.
Let's see.
Number 15. Mysterious beast. While some of you might be yelling for this thing to put its shirt back on, scientists are trying to determine just what the heck this creature is.
What?
It's not an odd occurrence to find something washing ashore in the Philippines, but when that thing is a monstrous blob of hair with massive teeth, you have to bring attention to it.
I'm telling you, there's some species that haven't been found out yet, bro. There's species that not been found and that people are finding out right now, man. That is some crazy shit right there, bro.
This something undistinguishable has sparked international attention and debate. The hairy blob, as it's been dubbed, appears just as its name describes. Huge, gelatinous, hairy, big teeth. Its decomposing remains measured a whopping 20 feet long and weighed over 2 tons. Its size required quite a bit of cleanup.
Oh my God.
Is it a whale? Is it some other animal carcass? Since 2017, experts have been baffled at its origin and trying to determine what it could be. Some theories have arisen, such as their hair being extremely decomposed, fibrous muscles, and not hair at all. Only a few animals exist on planet Earth that could leave remains of this scale. A whale and other similarly sized aquatic creatures.
But do you see the size of the teeth?
The known creatures, at least. The mysterious carcass was too decomposed for further research to be conducted and identification to be confirmed. No tissue tests were possible thanks to the severe case of decomposition, and that goes for DNA as well.
What? No way. I don't think so, because honestly, the thing about it, we've been checking like DNA of dinosaurs. They're like millions of years old, and you're telling me they can't check the DNA of this thing? Something doesn't sound right, man. Something kind of sounds like this is set up. This is not real. I don't know. I'm just feeling like this is not real. Like, let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys think this is real right now? I believe something washed up on shore, but I don't believe that they can't check the DNA. That's sus, bro. That's something I don't believe that.
Just bacteria and decomposition and a gnarly picture of what this thing could have been. Could this be something ancient and massive that's been decomposing at the bottom of the ocean for years on end? Maybe something otherworldly? The only thing anyone can say for sure was that it was a big, hairy blob.
You
want to know a little secret? If you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you'll have superpowers for the rest of your life. So what are you waiting for? Time to fly. Number 14.
Let's see.
Waterfall Restaurant.
Well, this one, yeah.
Found in the midst of the palatial Villa Escudero Resort Plantation in the Philippines,
this one I've been to.
Incredible Waterfalls restaurant demands a no-shoes policy from its customers. It's located in the middle of a small river and waterfall, making it one of the most unique restaurants in the world. The tables and cook stations are fashioned from bamboo that blends with the surroundings beautifully. The watery eatery sits just feet from the rushing waterfall, even allowing guests the opportunity to lean under
in one of my in one of my videos. Actually, I think I'm here in one of my videos. I can't remember which one. I can't remember, but one of my videos. If you go check out my videos when I'm in the Philippines, traveling around my van, I know I visit here.
Foot meal, if they desire.
Good experience.
Diners can tuck into a Kamayan-style buffet consisting of such cuisine as fish, rice, barbecued chicken, and bananas, the latter of which is locally referred to as the banana queue. The small waterfall, known as Labazen Falls, is not a natural falls, but rather a runoff from the Labazen Dam,
the
nation's first hydroelectric plant. Despite the fact that it's an artificial falls, the uniqueness of the experience is genuine. If you want to enjoy nature and a fine meal, this is a place to do it. Number 13. Abandoned Fantasy World. If exploring a massive abandoned theme park is one of your dreams, then Fantasy World might be the place for you.
Lausanne?
The park was constructed to rival Disneyland with its tall, vibrant castles and adrenaline-inducing rides. until funding eventually ran out. The majority of the park was finished, which makes the tale all the more tragic.
Wow.
Even today, the place has become a popular tourist attraction thanks to the eeriness of the whole thing.
This is in Lausanne, right? Lausanne?
Since none of the rides are operational,
the south of Lausanne,
anytime soon,
like south of
photographers
Manila.
and artists have flocked to the area to be inspired by its haunting aura. This isn't the first time a massive project trying to rival Disneyland has failed just before it opened. In 2017, the park's owner, ECE Realty and Development, installed rides and converted this park into a photographer's dream world to make good use of the grounds that remain.
Why not?
The park is
Why not turn it into like a hotel or something, right? I feel like they need to turn this into a hotel, bro. Honestly, I feel like if they turn this into a hotel, it'll be so much better. Like, why? Why? You built it already. You built it. You might as well use it, right? That makes no sense to me, bro. Might as well use it.
Maintained to this day, although the paint has begun to fade, and the German aesthetic designed castles make it feel all the creepier. Number 12. Sunken Cemetery. The wild island of Camiguin is a province in the Philippines found in the Bohol Sea, about 6 miles off the coast of Mindanao. The island is a volcanic creation and comprised of 4 young stratovolcanoes, a volcano built up of alternate layers of lava and ash overlying older volcanic structures. These structures include the famed Mount Vulcan and Mount Hibak-Hibak, still considered active and having last erupted in 1953. An eruption of Mount Vulcan once lasted from 1871 to about 1875 after continuously spewing out hot lava into the sea.
That's crazy.
From which the island of Subject was born. The landmass gained an incredible height of 2,000 feet in just a few years and submerged the nearby areas of Catamaran, including the cemetery. Today, all that remains are the ruins of an ancient church and a bell tower. Remnants of the structures and gravestones of the cemetery were still visible during low tide until 1948, when Mount Vulcan erupted for the 4th time and buried it for good beneath under 20 feet of molten rock and
Definitely
ash.
somewhere I need to go check out.
In 1982, a large cross was built on the solidified lava to mark this old gravesite and the spirits of the lost that still reside somewhere within. Number 11, Caged Demon. In the Philippines, there's an eerie gravestone depicting a demon standing atop an angel as if conquering it in battle. Outside the grave is a large cave. But why? It's said that this demon comes alive at night and walks around the graveyard looking for souls. A rosary was put around the devil's arms as if to dispel the evil it represents. The statue was reportedly built in 1926 by Simeon Bernardo, a wealthy landowner who lived in Malabon, who was arrested during the 1896 revolution for being part of the revolt. He later denied such allegations in a written account later in his life. His grandson said it was constructed based on his theological musing, in which he used Catholic reasoning to argue against it. The artist was said to have a revulsion toward the friars, which compelled him to read the Bible from cover to cover and question everything about it. The family that owns the property, and thus the statue now, says they haven't taken it down because its message remains relative, even today.
Wow.
Number 10. Dancing Inmates. Yep.
This is something everyone's been telling me I need to go watch, man. I need to go visit these guys because these guys are actually training. Like, these guys are people who went to jail, right? And they got bored and nothing to do, so might as well put them to work. Do something, right? That's why I thought this idea was so cool, like, honestly.
Aptly named CPDRC Dancers is a group of prison inmates housed in the Cebu Provincial Detention and Rehabilitation Center, hence the acronym, which is a maximum security prison located in the Philippines. Here, the inmates perform dance routines as part of their daily exercise and rehabilitation, and many performances are displayed live online, making them a popular feature among fans. Their best-known video feature, a group of inmates dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller. The idea of a group of maximum security inmates being rehabilitated through choreographed dance and achieving world fame along the way is nothing short of Broadway musical worthy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Says the method has actually shown positive results from both inmates' overall moods and reduction in high-stress situations. Perhaps waking up with a dance every morning is magic enough to rehabilitate.
Gives people something to do, right?
Number 9.
People got something to do.
Tarsier.
Is it Tarsier?
Adorable, little known.
Isn't it Tarsier, not Tarsier? Tarsier, right? Tarsier.
Nocturnal primates that have animal lovers' cute sensors bursting through the glass. Once more widespread, the creatures are now limited to the Southeast Asian islands of the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia, with their numbers still dropping by the year.
But one thing I know about these, like, they get scared super easy. So if you do something like too quick, apparently they get scared and they die. They die. Like, can you believe these little guys just get scared so much they just die, and that's it. That is it.
Thus far, there have been a total
so
of
cute,
10
man.
tarsier species discovered and 4 subspecies that belong to a sister group of monkeys and apes. Extinction threatens all species today thanks to deforestation and dramatic environmental changes. The first thing you'll notice about them is undoubtedly their eyes. They have the largest eyeballs relative to its body size of any mammal. Each eyeball measures around 16 millimeters in diameter, which is as large as the tarsier's entire brain. The eyes are so massive that they can't rotate them in the slightest. To compensate for this, they have the ability to twist their necks a full 180 degrees in either direction, just like owls, to get a sense of their surroundings. While they might not appear like they're completely carnivorous creatures, many other primates are omnivores, but this guy has a thing for meat.
Really? I would never suspect
largest
that.
Pair of shoes.
Never would have suspected
just
that.
over 17 feet long and 8 feet wide, these giant dress shoes could fit 30 normal feet inside of them.
Where the hell is this?
But whose are they? The answer isn't as simple as a who. Built in Marikina, the capital of shoe production in the Philippines, in the house of the legendary Imelda Marcos shoe collection, the massive footwear was certified by Guinness in 2002 as the largest pair of shoes on the planet.
For SM.
Their fabrication took an impressive 77 days to complete and cost over 2 million Philippine pesos.
God.
To be fair, it isn't the most expensive shoe to ever be purchased. Heck, there are entire stores with shoe price higher than this. Obviously, the shoe was never meant to be worn, but to stand as a testament to the shoe production capital and all that's accomplished in the industry. The giant shoe was yet another example of their excellence in the craft, or at least that's what the company says about them. Number 7.
And that's real leather, right?
Largest pearl in the world. 10 years ago, a lucky Filipino fisherman made an amazing discovery while out on the job off the coast of the Palawan Island. He pulled up a massive rare giant clam, and inside was a 2-foot perfectly formed pearl. He covered it with a sheet and hid it until he returned home, where he continued to hide it under his bed, thinking it more of a good luck charm than retirement package.
How much money did he make?
Soon find out. In a tragic fire, his house was burned to the ground, but miraculously the pearl survived, unscathed.
What?
He got it measured, tested, and analyzed. By officials that looked over the pearl, it was verified at 26 inches in length, 12 inches in width, and weighing about 75 pounds.
But when I think of pearls, I think of that little ball thing inside of it. That's what I think, like a perfectly circled ball. But looking at this, it looks more like a tooth to me. Like you know, like one of those teeth that you find in your teeth.
It's valued at $100 million. It's a good thing they appear to be fireproof, because that would have been one heck of a check to lose.
$100 million.
One thing is certain, it's definitely the fisherman's good luck charm in more ways than one.
This guy is living large right now. He is living large.
Mouse deer. With a deer-like torso, long, spindly legs, and mouse-like fangs, this bizarre-looking creature appears to be some type of hybrid out of a fantasy tale. It's a species known as the mouse deer, or chevrotains. These tiny little creatures are shy,
that looks so
mysterious,
freaky
and elusive. Aside from observing them a few times in wild nature, experts barely know anything about them aside from what they look like. Not only are they extremely difficult to catch, but even harder to find. Despite its name, it's related to neither mouse nor deer. Rather, these little rodents form their own family named the Tragulidae. This adorable little hopping beast comes in many shapes and sizes.
And they got little horns,
has been separated into 2 genera thus far,
or tusks, whatever you want to call it,
and the mouse deer of subject. Despite their tiny size, those fangs would give each Dracula something to be jealous of. They use those needle-like canine fangs to stab each other for many different reasons. Thanks to tough skin and strong muscles around the neck and rump, these adorable fighters are protected from bites during combat and know how to hold their own should it come to it.
The mouse deer. That is crazy.
Yamashita treasure. treasure hunters have been claiming they've discovered the legendary masses of gold allegedly hidden in the Philippines by Japanese soldiers during World War II. The revelation would mark the end of decades of speculation over the dubbed Yamashita treasure. The hoard was said to have so many gold bars and gemstones, its worth was intense.
And also, I heard that the gold, there's gold, not Marcos's gold, but the guy from Spain, I think it was a Spanish guy who was traveling the world. I forgot his name, man. Damn it, it's got to come to me. But apparently, you guys know what I'm talking about. He got killed in Cebu or something like that because the natives killed him or something. But he was supposed to go around the world. So apparently, he hid some gold in the Philippines. I don't know. Have you guys watched what's that game? Enchanted? The one, the Nathan guy, that movie, they just made a movie about it. God, it's just slipping. But anyways, apparently that's about the gold in the Philippines. And I believe there's some gold hidden in the Philippines that we don't know about. And people are still looking for it to this day.
Tens of billions of dollars, allegedly looted by the Japanese Imperial Army and stored for later retrieval. Why they never returned is a mystery, but the loss of the war is suspected of playing a major role in the looters' disappearance and abandonment. Rumor says that the looted valuables were stashed in more than 145 underground tunnels and caves in the Philippines before the surrender in 1945. The adventurers responsible for the recent discovery will not disclose the location for obvious reasons, or at least until the treasure has been cleared and is safe from thievery. The estimated net value of the treasures and whether it equaled the amount the legends told of it is still to be revealed as well. Number 4.
I thought they were going to tell us, man. I want to know how much it's worth.
Organ. It took Father Diego Serra 8 years to finally finish his art piece organ in St. Joseph's Church in 1824, but he accomplished the creation of a unique instrument. Although he was forced to include metal stops in the organ to retain its iconic sound, every other component was constructed entirely out of bamboo.
That's impressive.
The Spanish priest, who was stationed in the Philippines at the time, started constructing the instrument with the material for practical reasons, but later saw the potential the project had. Bamboo was everywhere near Manila, and classic organ materials were not the easiest materials to come by. The result of his work in Mother Nature was an organ built in the Spanish style, but with an Asian twist. Right after its construction, the church and organ were attacked by Mother Nature, making its life short-lived. Earthquakes and flooding struck regularly, and the priest who constructed it was forced to restore the organ shortly after he finished building it. After his death, the organ fell into a serious period of disrepair, even becoming unusable in the early 21st century after World War II. Finally, in 1972, a project was initiated to restore the organ back to its original grandiose and was eventually undertaken by European contractors.
There's so much history in the Philippines.
Right now,
there's like
not
so
only is
much
the organ
history.
playable, but it's the centerpiece of a concert called the Bamboo Organ Festival, for which it stands as the obvious star.
Is that
With
the
its
president
strange
of Torte?
construction, the bamboo organ has become a legend for instrument maker and organists around the globe, many of whom travel across the world at the chance to play those one-of-a-kind bamboo keys.
Musicians go crazy for
Number
stuff
3,
like this, man.
Chocolate Hills.
Yes!
Okay, you can stop drooling. We aren't talking about real chocolate.
I didn't get a chance to visit here, man. I really wanted to because I think there was a bus from the Cebu that takes you to this place, man. And I missed out. I really wanted to go here. Next time, on the list.
The Wonka fantasizers out there might feel a little let down, but the landscape lovers still have a lot to be excited for. If you're curious why it's called the Chocolate Hills, then you aren't alone. The answer is much simpler than you think. The hills themselves are typically blanketed in green grass, but when the dry season hits, it all shrivels up and turns the landscape into a chocolatey brown for as far as the eye can see. There are more than 1,000 stunning hills spread over an area of 50 square kilometers.
How are they all
you can observe the mystical landscape from many towns such as Carmen and Batuan. While each of the hills do vary in size, from a distance they appear to be perplexingly symmetrical, potent enough to satisfy the perfectionist to every degree. The site is so visceral in its symmetry that the hills are often mistaken for a man-made creation. And that's the biggest question tour guides get. Venture out into the landscape, however, and you'll get a good sense of their individuality and how each of these is a unique piece of land that makes up the beautiful whole. Number 2. Coffins of Sagada. The people of Sagada have a unique burial ritual. The elderly are responsible for carving their own coffins out of hollowed logs. If the elderly themselves are too weak or too ill to do this, their family typically takes over the responsibility. When someone has passed, their bodies are placed inside the self-made coffins, sometimes breaking bones to fit them, and then brought to the cave for burial. Instead of being placed into the ground, however, these coffins are hung either inside the caves or in the face of the cliffs, near the hanging coffins of their ancestors.
I wouldn't want to be here because you want to know why? Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're not putting it in the ground. That's fine. But the smell. Can you imagine the smell that comes out for this? Like because it's going to be like, it's outdoors. I'm thinking about it's like rotten, like human carcasses just rotten in there. So the smell must be pretty bad. Okay? No disrespect to the dead, okay? But I'm just thinking, for me personally, I already said when I go, I want to be in the dirt, and I want a tree planted on top of me. I feel like that's how we all should do it, man. If for everyone that dies, someone buries the body, then puts a tree on top of it. That's how we should. Mother Earth, right from dirt to dirt, bro. That's it. That's how I feel.
Ancestors before them. The ancient people have been practicing such burial traditions for over 2,000 years, and some of the said coffins are well over a century old.
Wow.
Amazing, right? Eventually, the coffins deteriorate and fall from their precarious positions, as does anything made with wood, but they tend to last quite a while before anything happens to them. Their reason for hanging the coffins was due to the belief that the higher the dead were placed, the greater chance of their spirits reaching a higher nature in the afterlife. In other words, the living try to get them a good head start on the journey into the afterlife. Many of the locations of the coffins are difficult to reach, with some family members begging other members to hang their coffins as high as possible. Some are impossibly high. Number 1.
Crazy.
Vulcan Point.
That's unique though.
On an island in the archipelago of the Philippines lies a notoriously active volcano that's been causing all sorts of problems for humans forever, and it's called Vulcan Point. Over the centuries, this violent volcano has taken thousands of lives. From the years 1977 to 1991, the volcano stayed dormant, giving the locals there a false sense of security about it ever occurring again. Then in 1991, it detonated once more, this time with such ferocity and violence it killed hundreds of people and has been boiling over since. That's to say it could blow again without warning, at any moment. With a whopping 33 recorded eruptions, the infamous Taal volcano is known as the second most active volcano in the Philippines.
Yeah, Taal volcano like erupted maybe like what, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I don't know. I personally, if I was this close to a volcano, I think I'm moving. I'm just saying, I'm not living that close to a damn volcano.
And even a part of the Pacific's infamous Ring of Fire. If you've never heard of the hellish Ring of Fire, it's a large strip of the Pacific known for its constant earthquakes and active volcanoes in the area. Despite these obvious natural dangers, the area is often packed with tourists trying to catch a glimpse of Mother Nature throwing a tantrum. Those that experience them say it isn't something you should want to observe. Vulcan Point itself is a unique island located in the middle of a lake located in the middle of a volcano.
No.
Sounds confusing. Just wait. Hot. The volcano is in the middle of a bigger lake in the middle of a bigger island. I know, it's perplexing, but why is it that it's such a magical location on Earth? Unfortunately, in 2020, the volcano at Vulcan Point erupted once more, killing 39 people and drying up the lake there. The tourist activity has been temporarily shut down until the area has been deemed safe. There are all sorts of amazing things happening around the globe, but we can only cover one at a time. The Philippines, as evident by today's list, has its fair share of shocking things too, just like the rest of the globe. In reality, it's just a matter of what people decide to do when they whip out their cameras and record that day. It takes something as simple as that in modern times to show the world something amazing about where you live. If that isn't considered an incredible time to be alive, then what is? If you enjoyed the video,
that is crazy, man. That's honestly crazy. There's some crazy stuff that you didn't know about the Philippines. Some of the stuff I knew about the Philippines, okay? Some of these stuff I knew about the Philippines. Some of this stuff I need to go visit when I get back there, okay? I need to go visit some of these places, man. If you guys have visited these places, let me know in the comments down below, okay? Let me know where you guys been and what the experience is, and if it's worth my time to go visit, all right? Anyways, I'm out. Bye.